We are going to switch topics one last time, and we are going to talk about E3. Um, with the human malware going on, E3 is one of the many events that has been canceled. Even though it's all the way out in June, but that's understandable. That it's going to be canceled just out of out of caution, which is totally fine. This is not about human malware. Give me a 12-hour stream of everyone going back to back to back, announcing stuff. This discussion is about E3, and what I want to talk about with E3 is it's we've had discussions before about the necessity of E3, whether or not this event is. I just got it. We've had discussions about whether or not E3 is necessary, and I have said time and again that it is not. It is not very necessary. But there is something that E3 does that is necessary. So E3 was expected to be held in June, June 9th to 11th. Or sometime in that time frame. I guess what we're discussing. E3 might not survive being canceled this year. Yeah. So it was supposed to be held in June. It is not going to be anymore. It's absolutely canceled. So there's definitely not going to, because I've heard people say, oh well, maybe they could bring it back if it's not. No. Once it's canceled, it's over. They're not going to wait a month before it and say, you know what, let's do it anyway. It's canceled. Most people are agreeing that it's not very mandatory. Some people are saying, Nincobra and a lot of other people have said, or Dragon Knight, that it might not survive anymore after this. One of the reasons that people are saying that it might not survive is just that people are going to realize, viewers are going to realize that it's not necessary. That this giant spectacle of an event is not necessary to go to. It's not necessary to watch spread out over 4 days. Developers are going to understand that it is not necessary for them to put on a big stage spectacle. It's not necessary for them to perform some sort of live skit or hire a guy with a banjo and a guy with the Japanese flute, the Shakuhachi flute, which, by the way, that guy's awesome. Cornelius Boots. It's not necessary to get out information. But so in that aspect, E3 itself is probably not going to survive. But what I do think is important is to have a centralized event. I don't mind it being spread out over a few days, especially as content creators. Content creators are the ones that will tell you the most that they like for it to be spread out, because we can go live and watch Nintendo's presentation and talk about Nintendo's presentation, do a video about it, and then the next day watch Sony's and do it all over again. If it's all crammed into one 12-hour period, that's a lot for people to have to sit down and watch it all. Content creators are going to be annoyed. But that's a very unique thing. That's a very unique issue. What do you think of the suggestion that they should scale it down and make it more of a press event again? I have liked that idea for a while. I have liked the idea of it just being a closed press event, an event meant for the public, for press only. What I would rather see them do is what we're going to talk about here. Normally things get announced beforehand, so it's kind of redundant. E3 is the most how do you do, fellow kids event to exist. We don't need to be subjected to Todd Howard's lies face to face. What I would like to see is over the course of 2 or 3 days, organized between all of the companies. I wouldn't mind even if E3 is the one handling it. The ESA is that. Hold on, is that the company? Yeah, the Entertainment Software Association, the ESA. They're the ones that put on E3. I would like to see them organize an online event over the course of 2 or 3 days. They don't schedule anybody on top of anybody else, because that's one of my biggest fears, is that they're going to try and outdo each other with a disorganized system, and Nintendo and Sony's presentations are going to be at the same time. That's what I don't want. What I would like is an organized, structured system, because Nintendo was always notorious for doing the tree houses throughout the day after their presentation. I don't need that. It's fun. We have gotten announcements during the tree houses. I think we got Samus Returns announcement during the tree house, but I don't need the tree house. What I need is a 1 hour long chock full of information presentation, and I would like that from all of the companies. So what I would like to see is an event over the course of 2 or 3 days, organized by the ESA, that features anybody who is willing to create a decently scaled, professional-looking video. And I say professional-looking video, but I'm including Digital Devolver, who always goes bat crap crazy for their presentations. But it's a well-organized presentation for what it always is. Much as I like seeing the crowds and companies get together to share the announcements and the hype, the spirit of E3 can still be kept alive by the companies getting together on a certain week to broadcast these big video presentations spread throughout, and maybe even have limited demos for people to play at home. Just spitballing ideas. Minion, that was one thing that I had wanted from E3 for a while, which is a heftier amount of interaction from us, the viewers and the players, for them to say, every company who puts out a video or does a presentation, I think there should be one mandatory demo from each of those companies, so that they can say, hey, check out these videos. By the way, this game is available now. There's a demo for this game now. This game is out right now. Like something like that. Something where, because let's face it, as viewers, we can just watch it whenever. We don't have to watch the presentation as it happens. We can just watch it later. But as gamers, we want to try this stuff out once it comes out. So we'll watch any presentation if there is the promise that at the end of the presentation, there's going to be a demo available, or 2 demos, or 5 demos. I'm getting greedy. Digital Devolver, those videos are always a trip. About people realizing they don't need the E3 thing. People have been saying that for a few years now. Exactly. How would that make much of a difference now if the event was canceled? Plus, I do agree E3 doing an online event could make them more relevant. How does it make? Okay, so how would that make much of a difference now if the event was canceled? This is the big difference. In the event being canceled now. Now they're forced to do it. You see, everybody's had this idea for years that you don't actually need a physical event to go to. You can do Nintendo Directs, because Nintendo Directs have been very successful. Sony is doing their states of play, which they have never really been super interesting, but eventually they're gonna figure out their rhythm, and they're gonna get it right. Inside Xbox is a relatively decent presentation. It's just, Xbox is probably the least popular of the 3 systems right now. And then the individual video game companies may have their own things that they want to do. That's always been an idea, but as long as E3 still existed, they were still going to focus on E3. Now they have to focus on doing online events. Now they have to make it more interesting to replace their E3 event. So what could very easily end up happening is that this is a prime opportunity for them to do this, and then realize, wow, it really does work better than going to E3, than going to a physical event. So next year, I suspect that you're going, even if there's a full-blown E3 next year, I suspect that you're going to get a lot of companies who say, you know what, we liked the digital event from last year. We're just going to do that again. There are consequences to this we won't see, however. There are meaning that would happen during event. Yeah, you're right. That are not going to happen, which leads to less collaboration between companies. That's how Star Fox crossover with Starlink happened. Reggie and Miyamoto were shown a demo of an early build of Starlink at an E3 behind closed doors. Now it's going to be more difficult for companies to collaborate. Yeah, I definitely believe that. I definitely believe that there is a lot of interaction that is vital, but without there being E3, these companies will seek out a different way to do it. And that's sort of my point. There may be other ways to do that. There may be other ways to get that sort of interaction and collaboration, but no one was ever going to explore those options as long as there was already an option on the table, which was E3. Now that you have removed E3, people are going to be forced to try something different. And that's where you get the, I don't know if E3 is going to survive this. What about indies? Maybe they get their own dedicated segment. Well, Nintendo still does the Nindies directs. And there's no reason, and that's the thing. There's no reason for companies to not do multiple presentations. You know, if you're talking about video presentations, there's no reason for Nintendo to not do a Nindies and a regular direct, or to just do a 1 hour direct with 20 minutes of Nindies and 40 minutes of regular stuff. Uncle Silver just called me a gamer. I did not come here to get insulted. Regardless, though, I think E3 as a concept isn't useful. Just agree to do video stuff for a few days and hold a networking event. Yeah, you could. Ryan, GDC, the Game Developers Conference, is the perfect place to have all of those interactions take place. There, you don't absolutely need it to happen at E3 because you literally have another event specifically designed for game developers to go to. So there is a place for that to happen. You just need to bump this up. You just need to bump up the relevance of GDC. Because I'll be honest, I'm going to be completely honest with you. When GDC was canceled, I'm not entirely sure I've ever heard of it. I can tell you right now that I never paid attention to it. I never paid attention to GDC. This is the first year that I've really heard of it, and it's because it was canceled. But if there is actually a game developers conference, there's no reason that game developers can't focus on GDC for those interactions. Because yes, when you talk about small developers, they can't afford tickets and all of the fees for GDC and E3. But now you're eliminating one of them. You're removing them. So now you've got small developers who can focus all of their energy on GDC, and you can turn that into a very important behind the scenes event. If it's a Smash Direct, we'll stay up all night if we have to. Note to everyone and myself, don't walk on your feet if they're asleep. Yes, stretch your legs out, shake your ankles, and wake your feet up. If you step on your foot, the pins and needles will stab you in the heart. All State of Play needs to do is not spend so much time on PS Plus. Yeah. Raging, I would say that State of Play needs to present all of their information in a more interesting way. It's one thing to just say, this game's coming out, this game's coming out, this game's coming out. You really need to present it in a more interesting way, because half the time we're falling asleep and the other half we're going, okay. Can't stay in chat, painting my room. All right, Flip, no, have a good one. Some of my most exciting games memories are reading about E3 announcements in magazines back before we all had easy internet access. Yeah, exactly. But that's back in the day when you were reading them out of magazines. You don't need that anymore. We have direct access between the developers and the consumers. There's a direct pipeline to us, so they can take advantage of that. Tokyo Game Show, GDC, they can pitch private meetings. They're definitely workarounds. Some indies do their own presentations. Yacht Club, for example. I agree with that point as well. But as you said, just try to set up another meeting to discuss deals and developments. I feel like Mississippi. I feel like maybe the indies to get together to have that wouldn't be bad. An indie presentation, bred by the indie developers. That would kind of be interesting. GDC isn't really for gamers, not surprised. Yeah, then it is no. So yeah, it is not an event that is aimed at us. GDC is incredibly interesting. I recommend the Splatoon 2 and Breath of the Wild presentations. That's where we got the video of Link running away from UFOs in Hyrule Field. We were going to get a presentation about the development of AC New Horizons this year. We can still get that. Long story short, I just want my announcement. Yeah, we just want announcement. Let's you're absolutely right. The long story short is that for us, we just want announcements. We want to be blown away. We want to sit there and we want to watch the videos and we want to go, oh my God, Metroid Prime 4. We want all that crazy stuff. And we don't need an E3 presentation to do it. We don't need this just spectacle that is more than it needs to be just because some people think it needs to be. It is I, Zero. Now I'll be Mysterious Maverick. Well, no, you need to be a green biker dude. There was a green biker dude. I think he stopped in here before. Hi, my name is Nathan Drake, and welcome to State of Play. Mr. L, I'm not going to lie. That sounds kind of cool. Imagine video game characters from Sony's lineup being the presenters for your States of Play. That sounds interesting to me. It's fun. It's whimsical. No one's done it. Nintendo, I don't think Nintendo had a thing where the Nintendo characters were the hosts and they talked about the other games in the lineup. That would actually be very interesting. It would be very unique for Sony to do. To have, I don't think Crash talks, but to have Nathan Drake come out as the presenter of the video. Lara Croft to come out and talk about games. I don't know what other characters you have. The Sock, what is it, like Sock Boy or something from Little Big Planet? You have them come out and you get text bubbles, and then they present to you all the information. Like that would be awesome. Crash in a State of Play. Yeah. Whoa. We had Bowser open last year's Nintendo E3 Direct. That's the closest. But yeah, I like that idea. I think that idea is actually really cool. It's something unique that Sony could do that separate them from everybody else. So it's like, oh, I wonder who's going to come out on stage. Could you imagine? Because now there's this word about Sony working with Konami again to possibly bring back the Silent Hill series. Imagine the characters from the Silent Hill series come out to talk right off the bat without hearing anything. People would freak out because they're like, oh my God, Silent Hill characters. And then you see the person from PT. The person from PT walks out on stage. You would lose your minds before they even said anything because you would think, oh my God, that's the character from PT. Are they bringing back PT? You would go insane. It'd be nice to have them talk. Nintendo had Star Fox puppets once. Yeah. Problem is so many Nintendo characters don't talk. Jack Kamen would announce games at an event, but he chainsawed everyone to death. PT. Oh yeah. Oh, that's right. It was Norman Reedus. Yeah, I kind of forgot it was Norman Reedus. Yeah. So yeah. I mean, you would probably change the character. Well, actually, hold on. Who am I kidding? Have Norman Reedus voice the character. Oh my God. Come on. Did we not lose our minds when Keanu Reeves came out on stage at E3? What if it was Norman Reedus' character from PT on the video talking about other games? We would go insane. And I wasn't even hyped for PT or UPS the game. What the hell? Death Stranding. I wasn't even hyped for any one of those. But I would go nuts because I like Norman Reedus. I just think that there's you can do very interesting things with these presentations to the point where I suspect after this E3, assuming they do this, assuming they turn this into a 2 or 3 day event with multiple video presentations where we can all sit down and watch them at a convenient time and talk about them, I strongly suspect that a lot of these companies afterwards are going to say, we should have been doing this the whole time. We should have been making more high profile videos like this as presentations, and we should not even worry about E3. Welcome to Capcom's E3 2021 presentation. My name is Albert Wesker. Tell me that doesn't sound cool. That sounds awesome. And you know what? How about Mr. L? How about while that's happening, you hear something bust through the wall, and it's Nemesis, and he says, "Stars, all stars," and then you get PlayStation All Stars for the PS5. Norman Reedus PT character comes out wearing Death Stranding suit. When did Nintendo start doing digital events for E3? 2014? No one wants that. Hawkeye goes, I know no one wants it, but it would still be cool. It's, you know what, Hawk, that would be, the presentation is better than the announcement. Like, oh my god, that was so cool when Nemesis came out and said PlayStation All Stars. I'm not gonna buy the game, but still. Yeah, when did Nintendo start doing digital only events? Was it 2014 or 2013? I'm trying to remember, because I remember all I remember. I think 2014 was the year they announced Splatoon, and I lost my brain. Kratos Peggle 3. Play Peggle, boy. Yeah, the point is Nintendo's been ahead of the curve for 5 years. The Wii U was 2012. The last PlayStation 4 game is PlayStation All Stars 2. Now I'm imagining Reggie and the GameStop CEOs like Darth Vader and the Robot Chicken sketch. I've altered the deal. Pray I don't alter it any further. This deal's getting worse all the time. Here's the unicycle. You will ride it wherever you go. Where did the unicycle come from? I think Nintendo Direct were the start of the end of E3 for companies. Yeah, I think, Dragoon, I think when the first Nintendo presentation was a success, they realized, oh, we're just going to keep doing this. This is easier. And then of course they're going to realize that they can do it multiple times. They can do it multiple times a year for updates and stuff. I do like the idea of saving the E3 platform for not the platform itself as it is, but like that, because what would we call that? What would you even call that? Well, E3 is Electronics Entertainment Expo, or Entertainment Electronics Expo, which is why it's E3. So I don't know. Electronics, I don't know. E-Cube. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what we would actually call that. Microsoft has Banjo, but don't announce new Banjo games. In other news, I was liking the current season of The Flash when everything was about. Oh, okay. I don't watch The Flash, so I just say, yeah. I think it was actually referred to as E-Cubed. Yeah, I guess E-Cubed. Since it's E3. Yeah, I guess so. Remember when Kratos killed a Sony employee and that secret phone number thing you could call in the first game? Imagine that in Sony's State of Play. Call it Video Game Expo. No, it would have to be something, I do like VGOE. Oh no, call it Geo. GEO. Hold on. GEO. Gaming Expo Online. There. Call it Geo. GEO. That's what everybody will call it. GEO. Like, hey, we're watching GEO this year. It's Gaming Expo Online. I kind of like that. E3 does best when it's a big physical thing that comes out. When a big physical thing comes out that is easier to show off by letting people actually use it. That's probably the biggest thing about E3 is that I think there are sometimes demos and stuff, but I just think that there's better places to do that. Geico. Yeah, I think that Geo would be a fantastic replacement for it's a nice concise name. We get to say Neo Geo because it'll be the first one, like you said, yeah, and it's Neo Geo Elements, yeah, exactly, because it's the first one. It's brand new, so we get to call it Neo Geo, just for the hell of it. But yeah, I think that that's a nice, concise name for it. I think that that's something that's very easy, and that would work, and it would be, what are you excited for? You're excited for the Game Awards, a little bit, but more, Geo is our Super Bowl. The rise of digital games has also helped weaken E3, since games can easily be sent out and tried digitally, which they never really did enough of. I really wish they did more of that. E3 streamer assets. If E3 is to survive, it needs a gigantic blowout expo in 2021. Yeah, it's dead. And even then, Nincobra, the problem is, are the developers going to be on board for something like that? Are the developers going to say, hey, we'll support that? Game announcements with mild entertainment. Just call it game. Yeah. Okay. So I think we saved it. I think we have rescued. I think I'm gonna call that a success. We have transformed E3 into Geo, and that's gonna be it. E3, no game, no hype. But let's switch over to viewer topics. So if you have anything that you want to talk about, any topics that you want to bring up, feel free to do that now. Also, if you have any questions or anything, if this is, I think that's one thing that I always kind of forget to highlight, is that this is also basically a Q&A section. So if you have any topics that you want to bring up, that's fine. If you have any questions you want to ask, probably not about human malware. How's the? It's fine. I don't have it. I don't have it, Shadow. We'll leave it at that. I honestly see a path for E3 to survive, but E3, as you know, is probably gone. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. Parasite Eve remake when? Cragman, I think it's very relevant. I think just because of the name, I think Parasite Eve is very relevant. Well, isn't Parasite Eve would be the day before a new season of Parasite the anime comes out, or the night before the Parasite movie came out. That would have been Parasite Eve. How do we feel if we have a Mario and Sonic game based on Olympics that never happened? What was the year that the Olympics didn't happen? Was that 1936? Could we have a 1936 Mario and Sonic at the Olympics? Wasn't there a year that the Olympics didn't happen? Lego Mario time. All right, so the Lego Mario, it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. We got this weird announcement that there was going to be some sort of crossover between Lego Mario. I think the two big ideas that people thought were going to be were a Lego Mario game, sort of like the Lego games that we have for all the other franchises, or Lego Mario sets, where you get Lego sets of different Mario set pieces, like the castle. You get Princess Peach's castle, you get Bowser's castle, maybe a little bit of a racetrack, or Lego sets for cars or something like that. I think that's what a lot of people were expecting. We got something like that. We got this sort of Mario Lego course maker type thing where it looks like components of Mario stuff, like pipes and everything. And then the Mario itself is like little digital screens on it. It looks interesting. It looks cute. It looks like a lot of people are gonna buy it and then put it on their shelves. Other than that, it really doesn't look like much of anything else. Will I buy it? Probably not. Unless it's really dirt cheap or something. It doesn't look like anything I would buy. But it looks cool. You know what I mean? Like, it looks cute. Cute is probably the best way I can put that. Let me see here. Did Baba murder Derpasaur? No, well, I don't know, Mendez. That's actually a possibility. I don't know. How do you feel living in the same timeline as Akira? How do I feel living in the same timeline as Akira? Where the hell are my cool motorcycles with the things that fold down? Where's Canada's is it Canada? Where's his bike? What the hell, man? Don't tell me it's the future, and then not give me the cool stuff like that. What are good games to play during times like these? I personally, Shadow, I like long strategy games. I like games where I can with deep stories that I can involve myself mentally into them. If it's a game that I play for a half an hour and then I stop, I go back to thinking about everything. If it's an RPG that I can play for a long period of time and involve my brain in the story, I have a better time distancing myself from everything. If it's an MMO, I can just lose myself completely, but I probably don't want to do that. Dude, Lego Mario toy looks like a great vehicle for physical Mario Party set. That's actually not a bad idea. That's actually a Lego Mario Party tabletop game. Think of like maybe not as intensive as D&D, but a sprawling game featuring Mario Legos, featuring, you buy the different sets and you build the more sets you buy, the bigger you can build the area, and then you each have a Mario digital character that you use to keep your score. That's actually not a bad idea. When you think about places that play like Warhammer and stuff, imagine going somewhere that every Saturday they do big sprawling Mario adventures. Where's my Lego Mario video game? I think this is it. Lego Mario set looks a bit weird. Everything looks bigger, like it's marketed to it looks like it's marketed to younger kids. It does look a bit more like Mega Bloks than Legos, or not necessarily Duplo. Duplo was the really big ones. It's a very Nintendo idea, to be fair. Legos you can build and also play a game with. Literally just Mario Z1, Mario Zone. The Lego community, from what I've seen, are not entirely convinced on this project. I think it's going to take some getting used to. I think it's going to take some playing. I think it's going to take some interaction with the toy itself to see whether or not they like it. And then I worry about the term Lego community, because there are a lot of older people that are in the Legos, and you know how it gets when older people get into it. They get all super intensive about it and they take it way too seriously. I'll probably get a Mario, even just to probably display. But you take out a loan for Lego Metroid. Yeah. Didn't Sonic have a good Lego game? I don't know. Lego Worlds. I still don't know what the hell Akira is supposed to be about. Jerf, I think I need to watch it again when I'm not under the influence of anything, to make sure that I know what that movie's about, because I think I do. Where are my cybernetic body parts? You better believe it. Made of Lego. Oh. Giant posable Lego Ridley. Oh my god. A giant, honestly, Minion, give me 1 foot by 3 foot giant Lego Mother Brain. In the casing and everything, giant Lego Mother Brain, or a giant Lego Metroid. Brian, what's going on? Is Eric's brain a main or supporting character in the story? Probably supporting character. I'll never get used to hearing Legos. We don't pluralize. Yeah, I Mr. L, I don't know why I do that. Because I know that it's Lego. I know that the plural for Lego is Lego. I don't know. I just sort of say that. I can imagine buying a few sets like this and making a whole world to mess around. Yeah, if you can turn it, Dragon, if you can turn it into a sprawling, like if you ever seen the people who play D&D and it's like a 4 foot by 8 foot table, but they've got all the displays and everything. If you could do that with Lego somehow, that's not a bad idea. Because I've seen people use Lego for D&D, so that would be kind of cool. If you just replace it with Mario characters, you could build some pretty sprawling adventures. I have a better question. Where's my goddamn electric car, Bruce? We have electric cars. Best quote from the Harley Quinn show, which I don't think I've watched a Harley Quinn show. I watched Batman and Harley Quinn. I like that movie. It wasn't the best movie, but I liked it. I liked when she and stick made sweet costumed love to each other. Although they probably took their costumes off. If I just kept streaming the rest of this week, even though I knew no one would show up, with this trick, the Twitch algorithm into thinking my channel has traffic. I mean, your channel's gonna have traffic if you stay consistent. That's always the thing that I say is no one's gonna tune in if you just keep randomly streaming. If you consistently make a schedule and you stick with the schedule, that's probably one of the better things you can do. It's not a guarantee, but you know, it's a good idea for building. If you want to build an audience, you need to have some roots in order to do that. Where's Bayonetta 3? Who the hell knows? There are a lot of different Lego fans. Hold on, I'm losing ground here. I play with Bionicle, so I enjoy Lego. I enjoy when Lego does weird but cool stuff. Lego Dimensions had the Sonic expansion. Thank you. Yeah, they had a bunch of them. Didn't they? Didn't they have like Back to the Future and stuff too? Mario Party tabletop games, now friends and family can tear each other apart. No, Neon, they would tear each other apart if you had tabletop Mario Kart. I want an American comic book hero who is a cyborg and is not whiny about being a cyborg. What about Cyborg? Oh, the Cyborg's probably whiny about being a cyborg, right? If they sell well, we make it more sophisticated sets. Absolutely true. Lego Sonic was that? Hold on. I actually bought Lego set for Sonic when it came out because I'm a sheep, and then bought Lego Dimensions on clearance. That's right. Dimensions is the game, and then you buy the sets. It's sort of like Disney Infinity. Isn't that how everyone says it in NA? No, I don't think so. I don't think everybody says it that way. They snoot. Yeah, snoot. What that ice crystal icon? Do I have an ice crystal icon somewhere? For love of God, great, watch that show. Best animated comic book show in years. You know what? Bug Fables: The Everlasting Sapling. I do not. Let me look that up. Bug Fables. I saw there's a new furry show that came out onto Netflix. Beastimals, Beast something. I don't know. Bug Fables: The Everlasting Sapling. Hold on. From Dang It Entertainment. Oh, it's an adventure game. Oh, it's an adorable looking adventure game. It looks kind of like a Flash game. That looks adorable. Bug Fables: The Everlasting Sapling. Lego Dimensions is a neat idea, ruined by your need to buy or else DLC built in. Okay. Yeah, that's the only problem with those toy-based games, that you have to buy a bunch of crap in order to make them work. What's that snowflake icon? Yeah, I don't. Do I have one? Is there somebody else that has a snowflake icon? I don't think I have a snowflake icon. Mitch's. Direct Relief Charity 2018. So it looks like you can't get that anymore. Beastars, that's it. It's not new, it's anime, so Netflix put it in jail for 6 months. Okay, yeah, so it's Beastars. AKA, I'm not a furry, but yeah, that's like, I'm not a furry, but hey, listen. I am not a furry. I can't speak for my friend here. Oh man, that's gonna get me banned. Bug Fables is basically a new Paper Mario game, since Nintendo just can't do these right anymore. Just finished chapter 1, loving it so far. I'm not a furry, but I can appreciate good art. Yeah, you're right. Hey, Cyber the Wolf. Did someone say furry? Look, Cyber's been like the whole time, like just snooping, just sort of lurking, and then it's like, whoa, furries. Yeah, what's the show even about? I saw a screenshot for it, and I'm like, is it really like Furry the show, or is there some value to it? Like, I don't actually know what it's about. Is Greg's downstairs brain also in this story? Someone's making a Pot of Greed replica vase thingy. Oh boy. I'm surprised somebody hasn't done that already. Beastars is about society. Anime Zootopia? Is that all it is? It's just Anime Zootopia? It's just a society. So it's effectively a slice of life show, but everybody's just an animal. All right, I got it. I mean, it could be creepy. It could be what the hell, Monster Musume? Is that what this show was? Edgy or Zootopia? Oh, not a slice of life, not at all. Okay, so there is slice of life is probably incorrect, but that's the term that I use for like basic stuff just happens. Like, you know what I mean? They're just regularly going through their lives. That's my term. That's what I use slice of life for, which is probably wrong. We live in a society. Furries rise up. It's way more horny than Zootopia. Grounded in reality somewhat. By the way, have I finished Castlevania? Yes, I will not spoil it. I have finished Castlevania Season 3. I will say that it is the season that I have liked more than any other season, which is 1 and 2. But I really, really liked Castlevania Season 3. I thought it was very, very excellent. It is a bit slow paced. So if you do not like the slow pace, you will not like the season. But I very much enjoyed it. But I don't want to say too much because I don't want to spoil anything by accident. You seem disappointed. Did you want a furry ecchi? I mean, I'm sure it's out there. I thought that was Monster Musume. I thought Monster Musume was kind of creepy. We have someone who comes in here, Unqualified Gamer. He loves anime, and he watched Monster Musume, and I think it's called Monster Musume. And he's like, yeah, I felt dirty watching it. Like, I felt like I was worried that somebody was going to walk in and I was going to have to explain myself. It's good. The season is a build. Yeah, the season is a build-up for Season 4. It was very heavily a build-up for Season 4. Monster Musume is super overrated. Well, Ryan, I actually didn't hear too many amazing things about it. I actually did not hear a lot of things about it that were good, other than the fact that it was horny to the point of creepy, is the way I've heard it described. Pretty dang horny, honestly. The manga itself shows nipples. Nipples! If you want a better show about demi-human people, watch Interviews with Monster Girls. It's way more wholesome. I'll be honest, Ryan, I was enjoying A Centaur's Life. I watched like the first 5 episodes of Centaur's Life, and I was watching it, and then I realized that it was there were only 5 episodes, and I didn't know that it was being like simulcast, which is why I wasn't getting all of the episodes. So that was back when it was coming out, so I need to go back and I can actually finish watching it. Interview with Monster Girls is much better than Centaur's Life. Has anyone seen Doro Heroro? Doro Heroro. No, I have not. I watched some of Durarara. Is that the same thing? With how much attention the Castlevania series is getting, when and what kind of Castlevania game do we think we'll see when Konami decides to release a new game? It won't have anything to do with the show. It's not going to have anything to do with the show. Assuming they actually decide to release one, I have no idea. Metroidvanias are as popular as they've ever been, so I would like to see them do a side scroller. But they could easily do a 3D game. I question whether or not we'll even see another Castlevania game sometimes. No spoilers, but Lenore, my God, get me? Lenore, yeah. Belmont and Belnades does it for me. I was very happy with that set of interactions. Interspecies reviewers. Oh yeah, interspecies reviewers. That's a wholesome slice of life show. Centaur's Life gets real weird. Doro Hedoro. Okay, you said Hedoro last time. Doro Hedoro is in Netflix jail right now. That's why. Yo ho ho. Rah rah Rasputin. Look at all these people jacking off to Monster Girls as if Tumblr is still a thing. Metroidvanias are popular. Konami is not. I thought Lenore was a type of fabric softener. It'll be another bloody mobile game. No, it'll be a pachinko machine. We'll get a Castlevania pachinko machine. New question. Which game will we get first? A sequel to Metroid Fusion or Castlevania 1999? I think a sequel to Metroid Fusion would happen before any Castlevania game would happen. Dodo Hedoro is about a guy whose head turned into a lizard, and he hunts sorcerers to find out the one who turned his. What a weird premise. It feels like a very weird premise. Like it feels like a very simplified premise. And all the end credits are references to video games. Okay. By the way, you watched Science Type. Oh no. You told me about that show. That's the one that you told me about. I meant to ask you too, because I think there were a couple of shows that you recommended to me. I just finished Toradora again, so I was gonna look for another show to watch. So Science Types fall in love, so they tried to prove it. Okay, so that's the show. Isn't that just Porco Rosso, but he doesn't care? Is that what Porco Rosso? I may have that movie. Dodo Hedoro is a Super Sennin series. It's not for everyone. Unlike Capcom, Konami didn't have a terrible Kickstarter rival to show up with the classic sequel. I wonder who would play Bane in the CW. Going off topic. Who would play Bane? It always depends on what kind of Bane they'd go for. I feel like Bane, to really do Bane properly, I feel like you would have to use some sort of special effects or something in order to get it perfectly right. Unless you go with something like Tom Hardy, where Bane was smaller, effectively. Because Bane, like he was in the cartoons, you're not going to do that. That's like doing Juggernaut. Like, it's difficult to do Juggernaut in any kind of justifiable way without some kind of special effect. Have we ever had Giant Macho Man Bane in live action? The Batman and Robin movie didn't that have Bane in it? Wasn't there one of those movies that had Bane in it and he was big? Gotham had Bane. The Rock might have been a good Bane when he was younger. Hey, I'll take Black Adam. Yeah, wasn't there a Bane in not Batman and Robin? What was the stupid one? Yeah. Batman and Robin had Bane. I forgot how big he was though. We don't talk about Batman and Robin. Get a supermassive bodybuilder and attempt to teach him also how to act. Yeah, it was Batman and Robin, and it was awful. Oh yes, we do talk about it. Best film ever made. The only film I ever walked out on. Batman and Robin. I walked out of that movie, and I have never watched it again, or never made any attempt to watch it. I've actually dodged attempts to watch that movie. I don't remember him being that big in Batman and Robin. Like he was nowhere near Juggernaut size. Has Bane been on Batwoman yet? I don't know. Basically a brain damaged wrestler. Oh, okay, yeah, that's pretty stupid. Oh, by the way, thoughts on Wonder Woman's Kingdom Come costume in the new movie? They just showed new images of that. Hold on. Wonder Woman Kingdom Come armor outfit armor movie. Oh wow, look at that. That looks great. Oh, that actually looks kind of great. That's pretty cool. I'd like to see it moving, but it looks really awesome. I feel like we're going to see some awesome cosplays of that. Yeah, that looks super cool, man. I wish I had an easy way to put pictures up here. You walked out. Yes, Omega. I had friends that I refused to see that movie. And I had friends that insisted that I go with them to watch it. And 10 minutes into the movie, I thought it was terrible, so I got up and walked out. I paid them back for the ticket, so that it's not like they wasted their money on me. But I walked out of that movie 10 minutes after it started, and I never saw it. I have yet to ever watch that movie. Search Wonder Woman 84 new images. Yeah, I have it here. Wow, that's really awesome. Very cool. Hold on. Sorry. I should catch up on Supernatural. God, I'm like 6 seasons back on that show. Is the person who makes Batwoman's gadgets in the comics the CW original? The character, the what? Wait, hold on. I think I got away from that one. I don't think I ever walked out of a movie. The closest would be having a splitting headache and clocking out. But I've only fallen asleep during 2 movies: Tron Legacy and The Hobbit 2, whichever one it was. The second one was The Desolation of Smaug. Smaug. The second Hobbit was Desolation of Smaug, or Smaug. I don't know how you choose to pronounce it. The third one was The Battle of the Five Armies. I actually really liked both of those movies. I thought that the second and third Hobbit movies were relatively decent. The first one I thought was kind of dumb. Figures the year I try to go to too many games I can't. Yes, well, Cyber, I don't know if anyone worried, is anyone worried coronavirus stuff, human malware. Sorry YouTube. Human malware will cancel summer cons. I posted a thing about being worried that too many games would be canceled, and then the next day Too Many Games posted and said that they have plans to keep it going. So hopefully it stays going. I mean, if it gets canceled, it gets canceled. I just want I have money set aside for Too Many Games. If they're going to cancel it, please tell me now so I can use that money towards a Neo Geo arcade machine. Did you hear about Paul Dini miniseries that's a continuation of Batman? I heard about Batman TAS continuing, but I didn't know in what capacity it was. It's a new book called Batman the Adventure Continues. That's interesting. I'd be interested to see what they do to continue it. It would make me go back and watch the full TAS just so I can remember how it ended, because I don't remember that show ending on a solid ending. I just remember, I remember Batman TAS being individual episodes and then it just stopped. Might have been Hobbit 1. I actually can't remember. I've only seen each movie once. Nice Dew. Thank you, Naju. I'm interested in Evo and how they'll handle the situation. Evo, it's probably one that they should cancel. A lot of not showering going on there. I was hoping he was sorry. I was hoping he was related to Lucas Fox. Okay. I wear my Nemesis cosplay, but with the face mask. Batman TAS doesn't really end. Yeah, it just sort of leads into Justice League and Batman Beyond. Oh, okay, yeah. The new book will have Jason Todd and Deathstroke in it. Okay, so that's interesting. So would that eliminate any sort of Justice League animated continuity, I wonder? Just planning to go to MCM London. They're monitoring the situation. Critical. I think everybody at this point who says that they're continuing on, because I think even Too Many Games said they're monitoring the situation, but their plan so far is to continue. Can we continue Static Shock? Honestly, Mendez, if I was going to continue anything, I would rather continue Batman Beyond and Zeta. I think that would be more interesting for me anyway. I like Static Shock. I actually did like Static Shock, but I would rather see Batman Beyond continue. I was hoping we get a return of Static Shock. Probably won't alter any other DCAU or timeline stuff. Okay, just probably stuff that happens before JL or during. Okay. Zeta Project was born. Ryan, Zeta Project, the show, I found to be a bit boring. But the Zeta stuff in Batman Beyond, I thought was very good. I did like the Zeta show. I did like Zeta Project a little bit. Not enough to really care that much. I think I'd rather see the character continue. I like the version of Zeta on Batman Beyond. And I'd like to see that character move forward. Ultimately, I just want more Batman Beyond. Realistically, I thought Batman Beyond was a remarkable show with a remarkable timeline that was unfortunately annihilated by committee. There were a lot of choices that were made in that show that didn't feel as organic as the beginning of the show did. And I think it only had like 3 seasons, maybe. Elements. Are you talking about, if you're talking about Elements, if you're talking about Batman Beyond, saying that you only watched the movie, I would absolutely 100%, for everybody on chat right now, I would 100% recommend that you find some way to watch season 1 of Batman Beyond, because that was probably my favorite thing to come out of DC animated shows. I love Batman Beyond. BB's problem was that it was at the same time as Justice League, so it couldn't do anything too similar to that. Yeah, I guess you mean as far as the shows being on, like the show's air. You don't mean not in the timeline, but like the show itself was on at the same time. Was that ending in Batman Beyond or JLU? Isn't Batman Beyond if Batman Beyond is on Netflix, I would at least season 1 I thought was remarkable, especially the episode with Mr. Freeze. What an amazing bit of television that was. My God. Oh man. I want to rewatch Batman. I only watched the Beyond movie once, I think, and it was years after the series ended. Beat Superman without kryptonite. Did you hear about Black Widow and Mulan maybe being pushed back due to human malware? I didn't hear about them being pushed back. I didn't know that they were going to be pushed back. So that's interesting. That Superman flight animation in BB is still hilarious. I got the DK books for Batman Beyond. That means Freeze episode was exactly why I watched. Yeah, oh my God. It's so good. It's such good television. It's so difficult. And Blight, fantastic villain. Love to hate him. Mulan, New Mutants got pushed back. This would be New Mutants' 5th release date. Good Lord. Poor New Mutants, man. They're really trying. They're really trying their best. But I think he's the big glowy guy. He's the glowy guy where you can see his skeleton. You can Ryan, yeah, that's a great line from Batman Beyond where don't worry about it being a spoiler because it happens very early, but Blight he killed my father. Do you have it's just his voice. I don't know who does hold on. Batman Beyond Beyond Blight voice. Sherman Howard does the voice of Derek Powers, who is Blight in Batman Beyond. And there's a scene where he tells him that he killed his father, and he said, he just looks at him and he's like, do you have any idea how little that narrows it down? Which very much reminds me of Bison from the Street Fighter movie, where it's like, oh, you killed my village and everything. It's like for me that was Tuesday. Like, it very much like that. Like, that doesn't mean anything. But that is going to do it. I like a live action Batman Beyond. I would just rather have the cartoon. I like the cartoon so much. I still need to watch the Street Fighter. Oh my God, Element, you need to watch it. You need to watch the Street Fighter movie the way I need to watch Batman and Robin, which is, you don't really, but but we're gonna call it there. Begging for Arkham game treatment. There we go. Thank you everybody for stopping in and for hanging out, for discussing what was a jam-packed episode this week. We actually went a little slightly overtime. Let me get my buttons ready here. If you are watching this live right now, be sure to follow us here on Twitch. Be sure to click follow, and if you have a Twitch Prime sub, or if you're so inclined to do so with your $5, please go ahead and subscribe. That would actually help us out a lot. Also, follow us over on Twitter. Twitter is where we... Do I have a link in there? Yeah. Twitter is where I post all sorts of updates about what we're going to be streaming, what we're going to be doing for the week. And we also have a Discord. Follow us over on Discord, where you get to continue the conversation, hang out with tons of cool people, and share funny pictures and stuff, which you can't do here. One last one, we have a YouTube channel. Be sure to follow over on YouTube, which is where I upload this show every week. I still actually have to upload last week's show, so that was kind of a lie. But if you missed any of it, be sure to watch it over there on YouTube. If you're watching this on YouTube, also check the links down below. Follow over on Twitter. Check out the Discord if you want, and follow us over on Twitch, where we stream 4 days a week, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. gameplay, and Fridays, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. this show right here, where you can watch live and be part of the conversation. Thank you, everybody, for stopping in. Very much appreciate. I had a blast this week. It's kind of a rough week for me, so it's always fun to come here and have good conversation with everybody, and I feel like we did that. But have a good night. Have a good night. Take care of yourselves. Have a fun weekend. Play some fun games. Stay indoors. Stay away from human malware. Enjoy yourselves. If you are like me, you are an introvert and you appreciate your time at home away from the crowds and the public, in which case, now that they have asked everybody to limit their social interaction, let's show them how it's done. But have a good one, everybody, and I will see you all next time.